Hello, my name is Thea and I'm a training specialist at Tom Pitt. In today's video, I'm going to talk about human and non-human resources. The goal of this lesson is to learn what are human and non-human resources, where to view and manage human and non-human resources on operations in the Tom Pitt system, and the importance of having the option of setting human and non-human resources directly on operations. Human and non-human resources play critical roles in the completion of production processes. Human resources refer to the people involved in the production process, such as workers, managers, engineers, and other personnel who contribute their skills and labor to specific operations. On the other hand, non-human resources include tools, equipment, and machinery essential for operational tasks. Defining these resources directly for operations ensures that each step in the process is properly planned with the right combination of human expertise and machine capabilities. By clearly assigning human and non-human resources to individual operations, companies can have a better overview of the whole process. This enables precise tracking of labor and machine usage, leading to improved planning and reduced downtime. It also supports better decision-making when it comes to improving these operations. For example, imagine a company assembling tables where operations include cutting, sanding, and finishing. Human resources might include carpenters for cutting and finishers for polishing, while non-human resources would involve specific machines like saws for cutting and sanders for smoothing surfaces. By directly setting these resources to operations, the company can efficiently schedule tasks, plan resource usage, and maintain production quality. Each resource can also have a time frame in which a task will be completed, which allows you to predict how much time each operation will take to complete, making it easier to form plans. Now let's see how this works in Tom Pitt. To define or manage human and non-human resources on operations, navigate to the production or maintenance domain, selecting Management, and lastly, the Processes icon. The page defines all processes. Choose a process and the version on which you want to add the resources to. You can do this by clicking on the Versions button below the process. A page with versions of the process opens, where you can choose on which you want to edit the operation details by clicking on the Operations button below the code. Once you have navigated to the Operations page, choose the operation on which you want to add or edit the resources on. Each operation has 5 buttons below the code, indicating the details that can be set for it. Click the Human Resource button to open a new page. This page will list all the added human resources. In case the operation has no specified resources, this page will be blank. The list will display the name and type of the resource along with its calculation time and quantity of time. To add a new human resource, select the blue action button on the bottom right corner of the screen, which will open up an editing form. First, select the type of resource from the drop-down menu. You can choose from Competence, Job Position, or Resource. The Resource menu will now offer the options according to the type of the resource chosen above. If you chose a job position, these will be listed below. In case of competence, different skills entered in the system will appear, and if you select a resource, users will be displayed. Next, select the calculation type, which can be dynamic, dynamic by batch, or static. This will determine how the execution time is calculated. Static is independent of the quantity on the production order, while the dynamic one will base the time per unit on the production order. Dynamic by batch will calculate the time per batch according to the batch output selection below. If you select dynamic by batch, define the batch output and batch size to ensure the right calculations. And lastly, select the quantity of time the resource uses on the operation. this time will be calculated by the type chosen above and will be used in the final runtime of the operation. If needed, you can add additional tags to the resource or check the optional checkbox at the top, which will exclude the resource from the time calculation for this operation. To finalize the input, select the Add button on the bottom of the form. To add a non-human resource to the operation, follow the same steps. Choose the button below the operation code, which will take you to the non-human resources page. Select the Action button to open the editing form. From the drop-down menu, select either a resource or a resource category. Choosing a resource will list all the defined ones in the system, while the category option will list categories such as equipment or printers. Next, choose the appropriate resource from the list below and the calculation type, which are the same as the ones for human resources. Lastly, input the time quantity that the resource will use, add a tag, and check the optional checkbox if needed. Don't forget to select the Add button at the bottom of the form to finalize the input. You can edit human and non-human resources at any time by selecting the blue code, changing the information to your liking, before selecting the Save button. And with that, we conclude today's lesson on human and non-human resources. Let's summarize what we've learned in this video. You now know what human and non-human resources are. You know where to find and manage human and non-human resources on operations in the Tompit system. And you know the importance of having an option of adding and managing human and non-human resources on operations directly through the system. I hope this video helped, and I'll see you in the next lesson.